profits from sales of CDs and the making of Michael Jackson Thriller, a documentary produced by Michael and John Landis, funded by MTV. The documentary sold over 350,000 copies in a few months. The era saw the arrival of novelty, like dolls modeled like Michael, which appeared in stores in May of 1984 at a price of $12. At this point, Time described Michael's influences as a star of record, radio, and rock videos, a one-man rescue team for the music business, a songwriter who sets the beat for a decade, a dancer with the fanciest feet on the street, a singer who cuts across all boundaries of taste, style, and color. While working with Paul McCartney on the two-hit single, The Girl Is Mine, 1982, and Say, 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 1983, the pair became friendly. McCartney told Michael about the large amount of money he earned from owning music catalogs. He was earning approximately $40 million a year from other people's songs. Michael subsequently began buying, selling, and distributing publishing rights to music from numerous artists. In 1985, ATV Music, a publishing company owning thousands of music copyrights, including the Northern Song catalog that contained the majority of the Lennon-McCartney compositions recorded by the Beatles, was put up for sale. Michael took an immediate interest in the catalog, but was warned he would face strong competition. Excited, he skipped around saying to his attorney, "I don't care, I want those songs, get me those songs." Therefore, Mr. Branca contacted Mr. McCarthy's attorney, who clarified that his client was not interested in bidding because the collection was very pricey. However, after Michael had started negotiation, McCarthy changed his mind and tried to pursue Yoko Ono to join him in a joint bid, but she declined, so he pulled out. However, Michael wanted the catalog, and he eventually beat the rest of the competition in negotiation that lasted 10 months, purchasing the catalog for $47.5 million. On March the 25th, 1983, he performed live on the Motown 25 Yesterday, Today, Forever television special, both with the Jackson 5 and on his own, singing Billie Jean, wearing a distinctive sequin glove. He debuted his single dance move, the moonwalk, which former Soul Train dancer and Shalimar member Jeffrey Daniels had taught him 3 years earlier. His performances during the event were seen by 47 million viewers and drew comparison to Elvis Presley and the Beatles' appearances on The Ed Sullivan Show. The New York Times said the moonwalk that he made famous is an apt metaphor for his dance style. They asked, how does he do it? As a technician, he is a great illusionist, a genuine mime. His ability to keep one leg straight as he glides while the other bends and seems to walk requires perfect timing. Michael starred in the 3D film Captain EO, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. It was the most expensive film produced on a per-minute basis at the time, and was later hosted in Disney theme park, Disneyland. Featured the film in its Tomorrowland area for nearly 11 years, while Walt Disney World screened the film in its Epcot theme park from 1986 to 1994. With the industry expecting another major hit, Michael's first album in 5 years, Bad, 1987, was highly anticipated. It had lower sales than Thriller, but was still a substantial commercial success, spawning 7 hit singles in the U.S., 5 of which I Just Can't Stop Loving You, Bad, The Way You Make Me Feel, Man in the Mirror, and Dirty Diana, which never won on the Billboard Hot 100 chart more than any other album, As of 2008, the album had sold 30 million copies worldwide. In March of 1988, Michael purchased land near Santa Ynez, California to build Neverland Ranch at a cost of $17 million. He installed Ferris wheels and a movie theater on the 2,700-acre property. A security staff of 40 patrolled the grounds. In 2003, it was valued at approximately $100 million. In 1989, his annual earnings from album sales, endorsements, and concerts was estimated at $125 million for that year alone. Shortly afterwards, he became the first Westerner to appear in a television ad in the Soviet Union. In March 1991, Michael renewed his contract with Sony for $65 million, a record-breaking deal at the time. Displacing Neil Diamond's renewal contract with Columbia Records, he released his eighth album, Dangerous, in 1991. As of 2008, Dangerous had shipped 7 million copies in the U.S. and had sold 32 million copies worldwide. It is the most successful New Jack Swing album of all time. In the United States, the album's first single, Black or White, was its biggest hit, reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and remaining there for several weeks, with similar chart performances worldwide. The album's second single, Remember the Time, spent 8 weeks in the top 5 in the United States, peaking at #3 on the Billboard Hot 100 single chart. In 1993, Michael performed the song at the Soul Train Award in a chair, saying he had suffered an injury in rehearsal. In the UK and other parts of Europe, Heal the World was the biggest hit from the album. It sold 450,000 copies in the UK and spent 5 weeks at #2 in 1992. Michael founded the Heal the World Foundation. In 1992, the charity organization brought underprivileged children to Michael's ranch to enjoy the theme park's rides that Michael had built on the property. The foundation also sent millions of dollars around the globe to help children threatened by war and disease. The Dangerous World Tour began on June the 27th, 1992, and finished on November the 11th, 1993. Michael performed to 3.5 million people in 67 concerts. All profits from the concerts went to the Heal the World Foundation, raising millions of dollars in relief. He sold the broadcast rights to his Dangerous World Tour to HBO for $20 million, a record-breaking deal that still stands. Following the illness and death of Ryan White, Michael helped draw public attention to HIV/AIDS, charities, and research. Throughout June of 1999, Michael was involved in a number of charitable events. He joined Luciano Pavarotti for a benefit concert in Modena, Italy. The show was in support of nonprofit organization War Child and raised $1 million for the refugees of Kosovo, as well as additional funds for the children of Guatemala.